Hi, everyone. Kaylie Shapiro here, launching a new series on the NYRA Bets YouTube channel, and that'll be our Maiden Race of the Week series. We're going to take a look at a new maiden race every single week at any track around the country, but it just so happens that right here in our backyard on Saturday at Belmont at the Big A, we'll have the full sibling to Clairiere debuting. But it is an 8-horse field. There's certainly a lot of price tags that catch the eye in this race, so don't want to waste any time. Let's jump right into it. Hi, everyone. Kaylee here. Like I said, we have the full sibling to Clairiere debuting at Belmont at the Big A this weekend, and that'll be Courting. That is trained by Todd Pletcher and Johnny V for Stone Street and Whisper Hill Farm. Very excited to see this horse. I mean, Clairiere was one of my favorite race horses. She always gave it her all. She's a multiple Grade 1 winner, and I loved watching her up in Saratoga in the summer of 2023, I'm pretty sure. I have vivid memories watching this horse run, and I'm really excited to see the full sibling debut because she's had some half siblings, certainly, and they've all run well. A lot of them are winners on debut, and that bodes with this one pretty well coming into this race. Very precocious female family, but this is the first full sibling that we'll see. And this colt brought $5 million as a yearling, so I'm sure that he's a sight for sore eyes. Excited to see him out on the track. But like I said, we do have an 8-horse field here, so a lot to jump into here. And with these 2-year-old races, you always kind of want to put weight on the horses that are coming in here with experience and a race under their belt. And I happen to like 2 horses in here that fit that description, being the number 6, Igniter, and the number 1, I'm a Big Bad Wolf. I think that out of the ones that have experience, these are probably your 2 main players. But to me, it's all the number 3 Courting here. I think that this horse has all the pedigree to win on debut, and this is the way I went in this race. I mean, the full sibling, like I said, to Clairiere. Clairiere herself won on debut, going 1 mile and a 16th. The half sibling, Judge Miller, went 6 furlongs on debut and ran second and stretched out to 7 in his next start and then broke his maiden. And then there's another sibling that won on debut going 1 mile and a 16th. So to me, if this was a 6 furlong sprint or anything less than 1 mile, maybe I'd be leaning towards horses coming into this with experience. But the number 3 Courting has all the pedigree to suggest that 1 mile first time out will be absolutely no problem and actually really well suited for this horse. I mean, being by Curlin, you'd imagine 1 mile is a great distance to debut at, and this one has a very precocious family. I mean, all the runners that this dam has thrown have run really well on debut, and that's something that you certainly want to put weight on when you're handicapping these 2-year-old races. Excited to see this one on the track. Like I said, $5 million purchase price, and there's no one better to ride a first-time starter than Johnny V, and he takes the mount for Todd Pletcher here. So some serious connections coming into this race. Very excited. This will be my top pick, the number 3 Courting. But then I did go towards some with experience in second and third. I mean, starting off with the number 6, Igniter. This horse ran really well on debut, getting a 75 Beyer speed figure. That's a very serious figure there. And this horse came out of a race with Golden Tornado and Oscar's Hope that finished in first and second, and Igniter finished third. Oscar's Hope, the second place finisher, won in his next start up in Saratoga. That day, Oscar's Hope beat a horse named Epic Quest. This horse had only run 1 time. I'm pretty familiar with the horse before he got out on the track and know for a fact that he's a quality horse, but just needed that debut and that start under his belt and is going to want more ground in the future. So my point here being is that the second place finisher, Oscar's Hope, was running against a decent field that day and some 2-year-olds that could have a bright future. So Igniter, I think, is going to fit really well in with this group. I mean, these maiden races up at Saratoga always attract great 2-year-olds and pretty promising 2-year-olds in Igniter. I mean, that figure first time out, and also having Malibu Moon as the dam sire, I mean, that would suggest that stretching out from 6 furlongs to a mile could really make this one step up. And it's also really good to see that Manny Franco stays aboard this one for his second start. So I really like Igniter. He's your morning line favorite here. So, I'm playing courting here, trying to beat the morning line favorite. I won't be surprised if these two go off about even, but I believe that the 3 and the 6 are your main players in this race. So I rated them as such in first and second. And then going on to the number 1, I'm a Big Bad Wolf for Brad Cox. This horse is getting blinkers on for his second start. Brad Cox teeters around 35% with second-time career starters getting blinkers for the first time. So I thought that was a really good stat to call out here. This horse traveled wide the whole way on debut and really was the only horse to make up any significant ground that day. And the horse ran third that day to a horse named Universe. Universe is a Kenny McPeak runner that he says he has pretty high hopes for in terms of Derby aspirations. I mean, I'm not sure about all of that, but I do know that the horse looked pretty serious and smart on debut. So I think that I'm a Big Bad Wolf was running against a pretty quality field that day. Now Jose Ortiz takes the mount. Breaking from the 1 hole, I probably would have this one just a little bit higher, maybe in second if he didn't draw the 1 hole. I mean, I'd imagine he's going to be able to break cleanly, and I actually like it a bit better because he won't be caught as wide the entire way like he was on debut. But you just never know how they're going to break from the 1 hole until they have to do it. And this is a 2-year-old that's going to be doing it for the first time. I do like his chances though, and I certainly like that stat with Brad Cox putting blinkers on for second-time career starters. This one sired by Practical Joke, stretching out to a mile off that 7 furlong effort. The way that the horse ran on and made up ground, you'd imagine that the mile is going to suit him really well, and also from a pedigree perspective as well. So this one's 4-1 on the morning line. I think that this race should be pretty formful. And if you go to the 2 horses on the outside, I mean, Chad Brown 6-1 and 12-1, those are some pretty big prices. And I'm going to have to call out the elephant in the room here. I mean, both of these horses are owned by Resolute Racing, and John Stewart, he's bought a lot of $1 million plus 2-year-olds, and I haven't seen them do too much on the track. I've seen a lot that he's purchased for $200,000 to $500,000 run really well first time out, but these $1 million purchase prices, I'm just saying it's not too much to be scared of. The horse, does not know how much he costs, and I'd imagine 12-1 and 6-1, that's pretty high for 2 Chad Brown runners, and the works are really nothing that get you excited. So I'm excited to see how the 7 and the 8 look out on the track on Saturday. If either of them take money, that's probably something to pay close attention to. I haven't heard anything about these 2. I do know that the number 7 is the one that I preferred out of the 2. The dam just seems more active. She has more foals on the ground. She's in full for next year. And whereas the dam of the number 8, Dionysus, the damn candy swap, there's a lot of blanks in her page. And by that, I mean that she hasn't put a lot of foals on the ground since this one. And also, I think was barren a year or 2. She's an older mare. I just wonder the quality of what she's producing at this point in her broodmare career. I know that this one cost $1.2 million, but the only runner that this dam had that won was her first or second foal. So she's thrown a lot of them since. They haven't done much. I'm just taking a wait and see approach with this one for Resolute Racing, the number 8. But I do have the number 7 in fourth. I mean, Into Mischief. He's one of the best sires in the world. This one also a pretty big purchase price of $700,000. And if you notice, the breeder, Whisper Hill Farm, stayed in on this one with Resolute Racing, whereas he owns the number 8 all himself. So it was a positive to see that the breeder stayed in on the number 7, and certainly believes that the horse has a bright future, you'd imagine, to stay in on him. So I put weight into that, looking at the number 7, and also Flavian Pratt ended up on the number 7 as well, whereas Dylan Davis is going to ride the number 8. But we're going to have to wait and see until Saturday to see how this race pans out. I'm super excited to see Clairiere's full sibling hit the track, as well as some second-time career starters that look to have bright futures or could have bright futures. All I know is that it's a very exciting time of the year to see how these 2-year-olds run back, and, you know, to start getting excited about next year's Derby and obviously the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, but really excited to see the full sibling to Clairiere, and excited that he's second choice on the morning line as well. I'm pretty excited to be able to place a bet in that case, but I'll be interested to see the prices that all of these go off at. But like I said, really excited to get this series going. We're going to have lots of great videos for Maiden Race of the Week in the future. I absolutely love talking about these 2-year-old races. It's just about my favorite races to handicap. So really excited, and best of luck to everyone playing these races on Saturday. We have an amazing card in general, lots of graded stakes action. Rebels Romance is coming into town as well. So lots of exciting faces out at the track at Belmont at the Big A at Saturday, and make sure to follow all of our great content on NYRA Bets.